everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning. So, um, have this training. Right. Sorry, I'm trying to look it up on here too because I'm blind and cannot read the screen from all the way over there. So, sometimes when we're new and we're going out on field training appointments with our trainers, we're just like, wow, how do they always know exactly what to say or exactly what to do? And we think that they have this like magical power to just know exactly what they're doing, right? But I want to tell you that it's not magic, right? It's intuition. So intuition is the ability to know something without really having a reason behind it. You just kind of know, right? For example, maybe you have a family or a friend that you're really close to, and you just know that they're going through some trouble, even though you haven't really talked to them about that problem. Or maybe you're on a field training appointment and you are sitting in front of a client and you just have this feeling that they are lying about something,
Yes.
even though it's not completely obvious that they are, right? And you should be submitting the app in power term instead of precision term, right? So I was watching something that said a while back that said that there's a misconception for intuition. People think that it's just a good guess, or that again this magical power that some people have and some people don't. But intuition is actually a skill set that anybody can improve on by just having more experiences, right? And they say that a lot of successful people actually use their intuition to make a lot of their decisions. And I say that to say, the more you go out on these field training appointments and the more experience that you get in the field, the better you will get at making the right decisions in the field. So if you're new, don't be too hard on yourself, right? You'll just keep getting better and better with more experience. And now let's start with some do's and don'ts for setting appointments, since that's where it all starts. So when you are confirming an appointment, you don't want to say, so what you want to say is, hey, did you receive my email, or did you receive my trainer's email, right? You don't want to say, hey, are you still good to meet with us? Because now you're giving them an out, and some people will take that and tell you they're busy, and you don't want to do that. And then for us, I like to go on, am I talking too low?
No.
No, I'm good, okay. And then for me, I prefer going on in-person appointments, you guys. I feel like I'm a lot better in the field in person. So, I always tell new people, I find that new people tend to learn a lot faster when we go in person as well, because there's just a lot of body language and cues that you just don't get by being in front of a screen, right? And so now, if you know that you want to meet with that person in person, then you don't want to offer Zoom, because if you offer Zoom, 90% of the time they will take meeting on Zoom instead, because to most people it's more convenient, right? But also the other thing is, when you're meeting with people in person, they're gonna take it a little bit more seriously, and they'll be a little bit more prepared because they have to receive you in their home, right? So maybe they'll clean up a little bit, right? They'll make room at the desk for you to sit at. Whereas if you're meeting with them on Zoom, they think that they can just meet with you anywhere, like laying in bed, right?
Yes.
I don't know if that's ever happened to you guys, right? They're on their couch, sometimes they're like half asleep.
Yes.
Maybe they're even in the bathroom. That happened to me once or twice, which is very weird. Just weird things like that, right? That you can avoid by being in person. Confirm that the spouse will be there if they're married. And the way that I do that is, at the end of the phone call, I always tell people, if something comes up for either you or your spouse, please make sure to let me know at least a day or two in advance. And of course, we'll give you the same courtesy as well if anything were to happen on our end. But if not, we'll definitely see you on such and such day at such and such time. Okay? And then if you know that they have a policy, ask if they can have it handy, right? If you're the trainee and you know that they have life insurance already, just tell them, hey, this is gonna be really great for my training. If you can just have it handy, do you know where your policies are, or do you know if you can pull it up online, right? Let's say they say yes, then you can tell them this will actually also help our meeting go a lot faster as well, which is true, right? That way when you're there, they're not like shuffling through paperwork, or they tell you, oh, it's in a lockbox somewhere and I don't wanna go get it, right? Now, if they ask you, you know, oh, do I have to buy anything? So what you can say to that is, well, you're not obligated to buy anything, and however, if you know there's anything that you feel like you need, of course we can definitely help you with that. But don't just tell them no, you know, don't buy anything at all, right? Because now you're taking the opportunity away from you for getting a client, but you're also taking away the opportunity for them to get the help that they might need as well, right? And then if you have back-to-back meetings, you know, if I know that I have back-to-back meetings and I might run late to the next meeting, I will tell them that ahead of time, right? I'll tell them, hey, I actually have another appointment before this, so are you flexible with your time? Do you have a, you know, hard stop or a hard start? That way it will give me an idea of, you know, how rushed I need to be, but also if I am a little bit late, they're not gonna be mad at me because I already communicated that ahead of time, so I don't come off like I'm just disrespecting their time, right? And then, do's and don'ts for field training. So, you know, if you're new and you're going on training appointments with your trainer, the good thing is that you're very, very lucky and your trainer is going to be doing most of the work, right? They'll be doing all of the heavy lifting and the presentation for you. However, the way that you're going to show up to that meeting is just as important as what your trainer is doing during the meeting, right? The way that you appear, the way your attitude is, your behavior. This is going to make it either a lot easier for your trainer to close the business for you, or make it a lot harder for your trainer to close the business for you. Someone to say something? Very true. Okay. So now, number one, I always ask my trainee to introduce me, right? As soon as the person logs on Zoom, or as soon as they open up the door for us, just say, hey, you know, this is my manager, right? These are my aunts and uncles or whatnot, right? And introduce us really quickly. And then one of my pet peeves is interrupting, okay?
Oh,
definitely, right? Don't interrupt your trainer, because number one, there is a flow to the presentation. And if you jump in and interrupt that flow, that is gonna completely throw us off and make it a lot more likely for us to lose that sale. But the other thing is also that it stretches out the time a lot more, right? We tell them in the beginning that we wanna honor their time, so we wanna be you know, a man or woman of our word and honor that time. So if you have any questions or if you have any comments to make, just write them down, leave it till after that appointment, so that way we can make the meeting a lot shorter for the people that are helping us, right? And get in and out as soon as possible. Of course, having a notebook and pen to take notes, and you know, you're there to learn, right? If you're not paying any attention, you're just on your phone, they can tell that you're not paying attention. And if you're not taking it seriously, why should they take it seriously? So again, this is just also just being respectful of their time for helping you as well, right? And you know, something else that I feel like people do, especially when we're on Zoom, is they think that we can't tell if they're on Zoom and they're not paying attention.
Yes.
We definitely can tell,
Yes.
right? I don't know if it's just me or Jen, right? But I think you can tell, because you know, their eyes are going like back and forth like this, right? Sometimes the light, the phone light is like right in their face, so you can tell, right? It's pretty obvious. So again, don't do it, right? Just make sure you're paying attention. Meeting the client before you meet the client. So, you know, I always try to ask as much information from the trainee as much as possible about the client. So, you know, if relevant information. You want to tell your trainer maybe what it is that they do for work. Maybe it's, you know certain things about their health. This way it will tell your trainer, either this policy is going to get instantly approved, or maybe it will take a little bit more time to get approved. If your relationship with a person, right, how close you are with the person, how many kids do they have, or what ages are they, their personality. Maybe someone's really, really chatty. You can tell the trainer that, so maybe they'll ask less questions, help the meeting go a little bit faster. Maybe this person's really stubborn, right? Those are some really good things to tell your trainer as well. What's important to them, maybe some of their values, right? Oh, this person loves financial education. That will tell us, oh, this is going to be a really great conversation. Or maybe, oh, this person is a little bit irresponsible. Now we're walking in, just understanding what we're getting into, right? And then also maybe their nationality as well, right? A lot of us here, we're surrounded by many different cultures. So these are all just different ways for us to be able to connect better with the person when we're at that appointment. And so this is something I talked about last week, but you don't want to tell them too much information before the meeting. Curiosity kills the cat, right? If they're curious about what you're doing, they're more likely to want to meet. Whereas if they feel like they know all of the information already, then they're like, oh, why do I need to sit down for this meeting? This is just going to be a waste of my time, right? Dress appropriately, of course, right? When you're young, I always would err on the side of dressing up more. I like to dress up when I come to the office here. I'm a little bit more flashy, but when I'm on appointments, I'm actually a little bit more conservative. I have a certain uniform that I stick to, right? More muted colors, black, blue, white, right? Things like that. Normally I do try to wear pants as much as possible. If I'm wearing a skirt, I'll be wearing an extra long skirt, right? And definitely don't underdress. Don't wear jeans, right? Don't wear hoodies or colorful sneakers. A lot of us here, we don't come from the financial background, so this is a way for you to rebrand yourself and make a great first impression. And if you dress the way you want to be dressed, right? So, of course, these are just things that are going to help make you look better. If you're on an in-person appointment, I will always ask, hey, do I need to take off my shoes, right? Just so you guys know, maybe you guys already know this, but for most Asian people, they're gonna want you to take off your shoes, right? So if you know that you're not comfortable with being bare feet, wear socks before you go on the appointment. And then, obviously other cultures, they don't care, and you can just walk in. But I always ask just in case. Just shows that you are respectful, right? Ask to sit at a kitchen table, right? That's the best place to do the appointment. If you're sitting on a couch, the TV is right in front of the couch, so they might have the TV on. That's very distracting. If they do have the TV on, you just nicely ask them to turn it off. And most people will understand that, right? And then if they offer you food, take it, okay? So normally if they're offering you food, they're a relational person. They probably want you to try their food. And if you say no, they'll feel rejected and might not like you as much, right? If you can't finish the food, just ask if you can take it home or something, right? Now, if you're on Zoom, use a laptop or an iPad, right? If you have to use your phone, then just make sure that you're sitting on a desk, putting the phone down, right? You don't want to be walking around, or even if you do have a laptop, you don't want to be getting up and going to the bathroom, going to get water and stuff like that. It's just very, very distracting and also shows that you're not paying attention. What else? Of course, again, sitting up at a desk, right? Obviously, don't be laying down in bed or something or on a couch. Just act like you would be acting if you were in person with them, right? Show up on time, of course, right? Again, this is just respect, right? Don't show up late if you can help it. Now, being early is fine, but not too early, because a lot of times they might not be ready for you yet, is what I find. So I err on the side of maybe just being 5 minutes late. 5 minutes early, if not exactly on time, okay, if you're going in person or even on Zoom. On Zoom, then of course, you can just sign on early and be prepared and all that, talk to your trainer. Pay attention to okay, so this is something really great that I got from one of Tia's trainings, but also something that I learned really early on in the business. Just people skills type stuff, right? Pay attention to the person that is a little bit more negative, because the person that's really into the presentation, they're already sold on it, they already agree with everything that you're saying, is a person that's a little bit more negative, a little bit more stubborn that you have to win over. So you have to pay a little bit more attention to them, overcome their objections, things of that nature. If you're a woman, don't give the man way too much attention, right? You want to give the woman more eye contact versus the man. If you're the man, give the man more eye contact, not his wife, right? Give genuine compliments. So now, you guys think that's so funny, huh? So give genuine compliments, right? If I'm going to somebody's house, I always look at the decorations, right? If they have a really nice house, I always compliment them on that. If they have cute kids, tell them they have cute kids. If they have cute pets, tell them they have cute pets, right? If they're doing all of the right things with their finances, obviously also compliment them on that, right? Wow, I don't meet a lot of people like you. You're really, really responsible. Things of that nature, things that are going to help them feel good about themselves. And then on the other hand, don't condemn them for making the wrong decisions with their finances, right? Don't be like, oh my God, I can't believe you did that, right? I can't believe you only have group life insurance, or cash value is terrible. Only stupid people get cash value. Right? Definitely don't do that, right? Then they'll be very, very offended, even if you think it, right, Malin? Stop. Pay attention to body language. So something really, really cool that I'll leave you guys with, that I learned in the beginning. So people tend to mirror you, right? So if somebody has their hands crossed like this, what you want to do is do the same thing, right? Cross your hands for maybe like a minute or two, and then just unfold your hands, and you'll watch them. You'll see them unfolding their arms as well, right? So it's really cool. Try it next time, right? But anyways, our business is about like and trust, right? If people like you and trust you, they'll do business with you. So if you stick to these things, hopefully they will like and trust you and do business with you. So thank you.